Hello guys, it's Nim and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you probably already saw by the title, we are building a Victorian house. Now this is the first time I've ever built a Victorian house because these houses are not very common in the area where I live. So I just went on Google and I googled Victorian houses and then I got this kind of a vibe from, okay, so this is what they look like and this is how they're built. And now we are just gonna try and recreate that in The Sims. And I have to say, it was really fun. I actually really like these kind of houses and I wasn't expecting that, but I actually really like it. I really like building it. Maybe it's just like this home that I really like building it because it had some quirky shapes. And I kind of like that. So at the front, we're now trying to do this weird little like octagonal porch. So it is a complete like room now, but we are building it into like a porch area as well. And it has a wrapped around porch like almost completely around the house. And I absolutely love it. I have to say it is absolutely, it's so cute. So from the outside it looks really old and Victorian, but then the inside I tried to give it like modern features. It is not completely modern because I liked the way of it being like kind of old-fashioned and with old furniture, old-styled furniture at least. So like we're gonna do the exterior and the landscaping first anyway, so you guys know that for me, exterior first, then landscaping and everything, and then then the inside. But I just wanted to give you a heads up because I'm actually really proud of how this worked out. I also really wanted to have like a round roof on that, but it didn't work because I didn't like the way it looked, so we're just gonna go for that roof. And that's that. Anyway, like you already noticed probably by the background, it is built in Forgotten Hollow. So that means that the landscaping, as I already explained in like my tutorial landscaping, like the landscaping that you do in your house, it needs to be like consistent with the neighborhood that you're building in. So meaning the landscaping as well needs to be Forgotten Hollow-y, like. Is that a word? I just made up a word. It's a word from now. Now you see me doing here, I wanted to get rid of that annoying piece of roof because I really didn't like it. So we end up by just moving the entire tower over and then just everything moves over one tile, and that seemed to do the trick because that piece of roof was so annoying. Like it really irritated me. Anyways, I'm really happy with how the exterior looks like. Like in a minute we are gonna add some columns as well. We're gonna do that all the way around, and I thought, like, you know what, this is pretty boring for you guys to see. So I cut that out because me placing columns isn't really that interesting. Like obviously, because I'm just walking around, like going around the home placing columns. So this would be much more interesting to look at. So you see like the room, we now kind of changed it into this little gazebo thing. I think you call it a gazebo, I'm not sure. I'm gonna call it a gazebo. So I thought like it gave that little bit of extra that we needed. Also, trying to figure out the front door. Darn it, man. Difficult. We ended up going with the Strangerville pack. So the Strangerville and obviously like the Vampire pack itself, it has such good doors and windows, and the style is really similar. It's both like kind of spooky. So I really like that. So in the attic we are actually going to use like the Vampire windows, and the entire house is going to be Strangerville windows on every other bit. Also, like maybe you've noticed it, but on the right side of the house in the front, it's not symmetrical, and I didn't realize it until I was actually gonna go furnishing, and I was like, wait, this is not correct. So you see me fiddling around, because I noticed that with the windows on top was like, wait, something's off. It doesn't look correct anymore. So that was really annoying. And I'm noticing that in a moment, like looking back at it, I'm like, how did you not see it? Just how? Also, this roof, like this floor planning, the worst, because I wanted to be like old Victorian, so not like modern, like open living. I wanted it to have closed rooms, because I was like, you know what, it's an old home. The people that live here, like they're not gonna demolish all the walls inside, because I think that's a shame for like the original features. So they are gonna have like the old-fashioned like floor plan. And it was so difficult. I ended up like, I put it all in for you guys to see. I wanted to have a separate kitchen, separate dining room, separate living room, and an office area. Like those were the full rooms that I wanted downstairs. But there were the stairs, because the first one, it was really dark and you couldn't actually sit. And on this one, the floor plan I'm making now, you had to go through all the rooms to get into the back room. And I thought that was really not logical. So we ended up with placing the stairs in the little corner and having a bit of a bigger hallway than I initially wanted. But that's fine. I mean, it still looks good. Like, you see me pondering, do I actually like it? Do I not like it? So the little square is going to be our bathroom. Then we are gonna have a hidden room for now, but not gonna be hidden for long. So that big area is divided up in our kitchen right there, and on the other place our living room. Then on the front we have a dining room, and the back there is a study. And then that little square on the right is going to be our secret room, which isn't going to be secret for a long time because I decided I didn't want a secret room after all. So on the top floor we are going to have 4 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And the bedroom on the left, like with a weird octagonal shape, that is actually going to be a bedroom with an upper floor as well, because that also leads into the tower. So you see me now doing the exterior, just all brick, because I love brick. Like in my country we have a lot of brick as well. Like almost I would say like every house, except when you like build it specially from wood, but standard houses are always brick. So I just like that in this style that actually looks good in The Sims, because a lot of times when you use like real wood in The Sims, it does not look good, or real brick. It doesn't look good. So, but with this build, it does look good. Also, like with the wooden one, it being a bit darker on top. Now you'll see here, like in a few moments, I'm actually gonna notice that it is not symmetrical. And I cut out my reaction because I was like, darn it, it's still not symmetrical. So now we're gonna do the landscaping, and we are going to be like in the style of Forgotten Hollow. So a lot of like Christmas trees. I think they're dens. In Dutch we call them dens anyway. So a lot of like bold trees and outdoor adventure as well, because they have like those big trees with, or just some of the leaves are not on there, like in the background as well. So I thought it was pretty similar. But then I thought it was, you know, this is like a really depressing landscaping and I wanted it to be cheerful still. So we are going to add some flowers in the end as well, because I just felt like the house needed it, because like it may have been built in Forgotten Hollow, but that doesn't mean that it actually needs to be depressing, like landscaping like. So you see me like adding some vampire stuff, but we're also just gonna add some normal base game stuff in there, because I wanted it to be cheerful as well. Because the family that lives here, like they're very happy people. They just happen to live in Forgotten Hollow because it was very cheap here. This is actually one of the, given the size, it's one of the cheapest homes that I've built. This home is 109,000 simoleons. And you might be thinking, whoa, that is so much money. But if you know, like the houses that are normally built are all around 2k or 200k. So this isn't really that bad. And maybe that has partly something to do that the landscaping isn't that extravagant and much as I usually do it. Because usually like my landscaping, it takes me like hours because I just love landscaping. And this one, I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to keep it plain, just some colors, but not too much. I didn't add a whole bunch of landscaping. I kept it pretty simple. So that is really good. Like you can see that in the price. Also, the exterior, I didn't go wild with that because I was like, you know what, these people probably like sitting indoors. So, then you don't need that. The only thing they have outside is a little barbecue, but you will see that in a moment when we go furnishing that. I also wasn't quite sure where to place like the trash bin, so I just put it in front because I was like, you know what, that's it. It's just good there, who cares? So, in a few seconds, I am going to find out that the front is not symmetrical. And I actually pretty like the way that I solved it. Also, I downloaded a bunch of CC, so if you see me like pulling that out in the middle of stream, it's just because I'm looking. I didn't use any CC in this build, so just so you guys know, it's CC free. I never use CC in my builds that I upload to the gallery. It's just that I like CC for personal use, so I download some packs, and I usually do a lot of cast CC. But I had the idea of building a church maybe someday, so I wanted to have some church CC already in there. So I downloaded a vampire medieval pack, and for some reason there were like corpses in that pack. Like, I cut that out of this speed build because it looked really, really, really weird. But I was like, what? Why are there dead people in this build? It was just very confusing to me. Anyway, so we are now going to like try to make the exterior look a little bit more cheerful and a little bit happier. But I didn't want to add too many on the exterior because, you know, it's still in Forgotten Hollow, and I just wanted to keep it simple because I feel like Victorian homes don't really have a lot of like... I mean, like, they have decorations on the outside, yes, but it's not like people actually sit outside. At least in my mind. I don't know if that's really true, I'm just making this up, so we'll see about that. So if maybe you live in a Victorian home and you are outside all the time, who knows? So that was all the outside that we're doing. We are now moving over to the inside of the build. And we're actually starting off with a bathroom. And this is a fully functioning bathroom, like... It may just look like a half bath, but there is a tiny, tiny, tiny little toilet in there as well. No, not toilet. I'm looking at the toilets while I said toilets. I mean shower. Like the university shower. I placed that in there as well. So moving over to the kitchen, we are actually going to use the Vampire pack and the Realm of Magic. Like for the interior, I mostly used Vampire and Realm of Magic. Because I feel like those furnitures... I like the furniture and every decoration, it fits really well together. And I don't know if that's just me who thinks that, but it fits so well together. Like, I'm not even kidding, it just fits really together. So I had also this amazing idea for shelving, like these L shelves on the wall, and I am going to clutter them up completely. So you'll see me doing that there. That red shelf that I'm using is actually CC. That's like the only build CC that I actively use in my builds, but I delete it once I'm done with it, so it's not in the build, but I use it for clutter. So what it does, basically it's a shelf, and that shelf, like, it moves up all the way, like you can put it precisely on other objects, because if you like move objects up and forwards or up and down with the 9 and 0 key, it hops. So it has like, let's say, I don't know, like 3 centimeter hops every time. But if the shelf is like on 2.5, like the object floats above it. So this shelf makes sure that it doesn't float. And I feel like it's a lifesaver, to be honest. I really enjoy it and I love that I have it. I finally have it. I finally succeeded in downloading it and installing it. And I just love it. It makes the clutter look so much nicer because it isn't floating in midair anymore. Of course, when you're making a haunted house, which this isn't, but if I was making a haunted house, I would make sure that some objects were on the shelves and some weren't. Just to, like, screw with people's minds. But that might have just been me. Also, I did find out that not all objects actually click onto the shelf. So some objects you need to actually like lower with the 9 and the 0 keys, but a lot of them actually just clip onto the shelf itself. So that's actually quite nice, even if I say so myself. Also, this kitchen, I would love to have a kitchen like this with a shelving system like that as well, because you can store so many things on them. See all these different kind of peppers that you have there, like dog treats, cleaning things like scales, milk, books, like bread cans, some flour, plates, cookies as well, and a lot of utilities on there. It's just perfect to like place all your clutter. And as you guys know, I love clutter, so having this shelving system would have been absolutely perfect for me. I adore it. And also I find every time that I go through like a catalog thing, like the decorations, I find new objects and I'm like, I've never used this before. Let's use this as well in the build. And I think that's really smart of myself, even if I say so myself, quite proud of that. So just kudos for me. Thumbs up if you like it too. I'm sorry. So once we are actually done here with the kitchen, we are going to move over to the living room. Also, I placed a trash can. I usually forget that, but I placed one, so that's good for me as well. And they also have one outside, so they can actually clean the trash. So yeah. So we're moving up to the living room, and I cut a lot of it out here as well, because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted, and I tried out so many different furniture, and I tried out so many different rugs. It's just insane. I couldn't even cut all of it out, because I had all these tiny little bits, and I was like, you know what? It's not even worth cutting all of it out. Just deal with my mistakes, deal with me trying out a bunch, just deal with it. That's basically it. So like you can see me using some rugs, and we end up using this one from university, I think it is. Yeah, this is the university one. Absolutely my favorite square rug. I love it so much. It fits perfectly in almost every room, and it has so many swatches. It's just so cool. Also, like, you might think, ooh, it's a little bit beige in this room because the walls and the furniture have like the same color. Don't know why I said clothes. No clue. That's true. So we added like a few objects here with color. Also, there's a plant there in the corner, and there are a few paintings that have some color, and it looks a little bit better, but it's still like pretty beige. So. Also, I thought for like a fun quirk on the hallway, I added a lot of different paintings, like from the vampire pack, so you could like pretend those are the people that owned the house before. Also, there's a graveyard in the backyard. So who knows, maybe this house is haunted as well. So my original idea was to have like a secret room for the organ, so you could just hear mysterious organ music. But then your Sims couldn't walk actually through the study door, so I was like, you know what? No secret room here. But maybe we have a secret room upstairs. Stay tuned and find out more. I also really wanted to like have this graveyard and then these weird little statues. I thought that really... It just finishes the entire build, because Victorian builds, as I already mentioned, they're quite decorated. So I thought, you know what, some statues here and there, like the graveyard. Maybe this is the house, like from a grandma, and she died, and then the granddaughter inherited the home. Who knows? You know, whatever. Also, I like the picture of Vlad, because he's like the founder of this town. So Vlad needs to be in every build in this town. I've no clue what I'm saying, I'm just making up things as I see them. Also the backyard with the small little gazebo. Is it a gazebo though, that thing? Like the stone thing. I thought it was really cute. So at this point, I was like, you know what, maybe some vampires live here. Like, vampires don't eat. I mean, they eat blood, but they don't eat food. So it would make sense for this room to actually be kind of like covered in cobwebs and have spiders in them. I just thought, you know what, that could be actually really cool. Also, really dislike for the vampire pack that there isn't a good curtain that like crosses over those big windows, so we ended up using Realm of Magic for those, and I actually think it matches really well. And there again, like, they're building in my street and they keep coming by whenever I do a voiceover. This is the second time I'm doing this voiceover, because the first time I was doing this, there was like this giant truck just loading out stuff in front of my home, and I was like, please, can you not do that while I'm doing a voiceover? They did that yesterday and the day before that as well. Okay, but that doesn't matter. Let's get back to the build. So you see, ooh, very fast cut. So that room that had actually stairs upstairs, and there will be some spooky stuff in there. So when you download this home, don't get scared by what's in the attic. But it is very spooky, I can say that. It is terrifying what is in there. What do you think's in there? Make a guess. You'll see in a few minutes if you're right. Who knows? Also, this vampire bed, I absolutely love it. Like, if it had like curtains around it, it would remind me of the Mr. Scrooge bed. But it doesn't, so... But actually it should. It would be perfect. So we're gonna keep the bedrooms pretty simple, as I explained before. Like I enjoy making bedrooms, but I never know like which Sims are going to be living here and going to be playing in here, because you guys all have different Sims. Like you don't play with the same Sims I have. So naturally your Sims are going to have different needs and you want different things from in a bedroom. So just add the things you want. Doesn't bother me. That's why I make them pretty neutral. So my first idea was to make like an entire like book room, and then I was like, no, I'm going to add a coffin in here because the teenager that lives here, she's secretly a vampire and she doesn't want her parents to know, so her room is always locked, and that's why there's like a coffin upstairs. And she also has like this secret room in the house, you will see me building that in a minute, with all these weird different vampire things, and she's really close connections with Vlad because like he bit her. And now he's teaching her how to live like a vampire because she actually didn't want to be a vampire, and now she's really sad and Vlad thought that was sad, which is really out of character for Vlad. But then, like, she found out that she's actually related to Vlad's long lost lover from like ages ago. So that's why he agreed to like look after her. That's the idea I had. That's all I had. So who knows? Who knows? So this is like a normal teen's room, maybe like for her twin sister or something. And this room is going to be like the vampire room, so we're gonna add a coffin in here, and I just had it on the vampire pack, and everything that looked even remotely vampire-y, we were gonna add that. So like the coats of arms from Vlad, which I just imagined was from Vlad. Some rugs, a mirror, of course the fireplace, also the central heating, like the vampire reading book thing. I feel like it's a really spooky room. Like if you walked into a home and you saw a room like this, you would absolutely be certain that it was haunted. You'd just be like, damn girl, this house be haunted? And you would not sleep there. Like honestly, I would not. As much as I say I love haunted homes, I would be terrified to go into an actual haunted home. That will be so terrifying. So right now we are doing the hallway, because that still looked a little bit blunt. We're just adding some more decorations, some paintings and just stuff. We're also going to add another chair and a chess table, because I feel like chess is a skill that like almost every sim has, at least in my gameplay, because I place chess tables everywhere because they're a nice filler for the space. So in a moment we are actually gonna go into a little tour video that I made, and I am not sure why in the beginning is really weird quality. You'll see that as well. It's really like shocky, like it's lagging, and I'm not sure why. See what I mean? It's just weird. I don't know why it does that, because when I was recording it, it wasn't, and I recorded it like 3 times and it kept doing that. Like who knows, maybe my recording equipment is haunted. Who knows, it will get better once we're inside though, so don't worry. I hope you guys can stand it. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified when my next video comes live. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!